Montclair resident and musical powerhouse Allison Loggins-Hull is a leading contemporary classical flutist and composer. She is the new resident artistic partner with the New Jersey Symphony. She's performing at Merkin Hall in Manhattan September 24th, and she has a new album out. Check this out. Wow, Allison, you are a busy bee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so
Oh, it's our
excited.
pleasure. Absolutely. Tell us about your musical journey and when and how did you choose to play the flute?
Oh gosh. Well, I actually fell in love with the flute at a very young age. I grew up in a very musical household and that there was always music playing. And I fell in love with this album by a flutist named Hubert Laws. It's called The Rite of Spring, and there includes a number of covers of classic flute repertoire, but with a jazz spin and with a contemporary spin. And I just fell in love with the sound. I must have been like 4 or 5 years old, maybe. And I just kind of asked to play it year after year until I finally did. And I officially started in fifth grade when I was 10 years old. And we've been together ever since.
I love that. So now I'm thinking, wow, if my daughter starts an instrument in fifth grade, just maybe.
You never know, just
Right,
maybe.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we love Montclair, and I'm just wondering, how did you end up living and teaching in Montclair?
Sure. Well, this is my 8th year here. And my husband and I and my son, we were living in Montclair, and my husband and I decided to expand in our family. And in planning, I'm sorry, we were living in Brooklyn. And in planning for that, we just decided that it was time to kind of change our lifestyle a little bit. We wanted to get a little bit more space. We wanted to just kind of slow things down. We're both very busy professionals as well. So just anything to kind of simplify things felt really great. And in our research of towns that were in the New York City area, Montclair just kept coming up at the top in terms of the things that really were important to us. And we went to visit the town and we looked at some houses and we fell in love with it. And we've been here ever since. So this is our 8th year. And coincidentally, I don't currently have a teaching position, but by coincidence, I actually, for a few years taught flute at Montclair State
Oh, wow.
University. But this was after I had moved to the town. So it just was a coincidence. But I was there for about 4 years teaching flute.
It sounds like a natural fit. And congratulations with your new position with the New Jersey Symphony. Tell us what that entails.
I'm so looking forward to this. Well, there's a number of commissions that I'll be doing. So I'll be writing for the orchestra. There will be some curatorial programs. So we'll be presenting special programs in and around the state of New Jersey. And I'm really, really looking forward mostly to opportunities to collaborate with local community organizations in the area and other arts organizations. This is something that personally I'm very interested in my own work, and because I live here and my family is here, I'm especially excited because I have a special interest, and I think it's just a really wonderful opportunity for me to do this kind of work locally in my home state and with a really excellent, amazing ensemble.
That's great. There's something very special about being able to live and work and give back to the community that you care so much about. But you have a performance coming up at Merkin Hall in New York City, September 24th. That's pretty big news. And it
Yeah.
previews your forthcoming album with one of today's leading string quartets, Ethel. What can audiences expect to hear at this concert?
Well, this was a project that's been years in the making. Ethel and I, first and foremost, we are really great old friends. I've known them for years now, and they approached me about writing something for the five of us, and it kind of just grew into this entire commissioning project where we did a call for scores, and then after going through many submissions, we selected 4 other composers to write for us, write original pieces for flute and string quartet. And those composers are Migi Miyajima Xavier Music, Sam Wu, and Leila Lanzalotti, who was a recent runner-up Pulitzer Prize finalist. So it's a roster of really, really fantastic emerging voices in the contemporary music world. It's super diverse. There's a lot of varied harmonic language, a lot of different imagery, I would say, is conjured throughout the program. It's a lot of fun. Ethel is known for being a really kind of fun, jamming string quartet, if you can imagine. So it's not a typical, I guess you could say, a flute and string quartet concert in that way. So we're really just going to like rock out as friends and do, and it's going to be a great time. And before our concert, actually, Merkin has a fall preview free event that's hosted by my friend and colleague violinist Curtis Stewart, and that's going to be free. It's going to be fun. There's going to be music and just kind of like party leading up to the concert. So I think it's going to be like a really, really great night with a lot to offer.
Wow, Allison, that sounds incredible. And just to clarify, is this your first composition for string quartet and flute?
It actually is not. It is my second. And okay. I wrote, I wrote another piece for a group that's based in Houston. They're called the Apollo Chamber Players. And I also wrote it for the five of us. So I also played flute in the premiere. And in that piece, I actually incorporated a multimedia element, a digital stomp box. So not only am I playing flute and I wrote the music, but I'm using my feet to like play a bass drum, digital bass drum, which is really kind of cool. So so there's two pieces now for flute and string quartet.
That's so exciting. So our viewers can get tickets at kaufmanmusiccenter.org for the Merkin Hall concert. Allison Loggins-Hull, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.